The thing about women playing boys is that we're not going to age, and we're not going to go through puberty in the middle of a long-running series. My roles in the 80s were, like, gender dysphoric. I wasn't pretty, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. And I am kind of butchy, you know. That's just my thing. Everything that happens to me in a day enhances my parenting. I've been working since I'm 9 years old. One of the things I learned in animation is that you never, ever want to start doing a voice that you can't sustain for 4 straight hours. I try to direct myself the way I direct the other actors who come on my show. I'm more of somebody who'll bend over backwards for people and, you know, wait at the back of the line until everybody's taken care of. That's really my nature. When you hit your 40s, you're walking around and you realize, oh my God, men don't look at me anymore. Or sometimes you can feel really good, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, Jesus, that's my face now. But I have to tell you that something happened and shifted inside of me. I don't think I have a demographic. I was at Comic-Con in San Diego recently, and I was doing a signing, and my line was all military guys, young girls, housewives, and guys in wheelchairs. There was just everybody all over the place. You can't regulate what these kids are being exposed to on the internet. It's so way out of control. All you can do is just try to talk to your own kids. I went from buying my own condominium and a car for myself when I was 17 on the facts of life to not being able to pay my rent. I was at the unemployment office all the time. I had to sell my record collection just to make ends meet. And then I started getting these voiceover jobs. Before Lucky Louie, nobody would ever cast me to play a mom or a wife. Nobody ever saw me in that role, which is weird, since that's who I really am. Everybody hates you when you're the best, and everybody hates you when you're the worst. I like people to have their own reaction and their own take on things, and I don't like to shove what I want them to feel or think down their throats. I like people to say, "What was that about?" or "Why did that happen?" And so, any reactions are welcome. I just like to keep things small and subtle and authentic and ground everything in reality. So that is something that I feel is my strength as a director, and I try to achieve as an actor. I can't imagine bringing in somebody else to direct my show. Wouldn't that be funny? If next season I had, like, Michael Bay come in and direct Better Things? I wonder what that would be like. You've got to leave enough space for your actors to bring stuff to the table, and whatever the weather's doing that day, or what the light's like, things can shift, and you have to be malleable. Every day is a different feeling and a change. I'm very influenced by documentary filmmaking and independent filmmaking, by a lot of noir and films from the 40s. Those are my favorite. And then, filmmaking from the 70s is a big influence for me. If I'm doing a voiceover session, like animation or something, and I'm doing 3 different voices, you've got to separate them. You've got to find the different places and do your different things. Roseanne was massive for me. I adored that show. I mean, the show was this couple who weren't cookie cutter, and they were sexy, and we know that they like to have sex with each other, and they flirted, and then they ragged on their kids, and their kids ragged on them, and it was such a realistic depiction. The first thing that I ever made was a documentary that I shot in downtown LA about a group of homeless people. I am a single mom of 3 girls, and I'm getting through that. If I can get through that, I can direct a whole season of television that I star in. Sometimes when I'm in the car driving, I scream at the top of my lungs. You can go in and out of love and still love somebody, you know? You may not like them so much on the day, but I can tell you that I don't think I've ever been so vulnerable or been so angry in my life. Like, those 2 emotions feel so hurt or so enraged as when you're dealing with your kids. There's something in my voice tonally that's like a boy. So I started being able to do boy voices and to be known as having a naturalistic boy tone without pushing it. They would call me the cleaner because I would replace boys who were real adolescents and their voices completely changed and they couldn't do the voices anymore. My life is extraordinary because it's so normal, but it's so extra for some reason. I get up at 6 a.m., and sometimes I make lunch for my 2 youngest kids. Usually my oldest sleeps late, and I get my kids out the door to school. For years, it was me just doing all of that and then driving to a carpool or this or that. Cooking is the best occupational therapy for me, and when I cook, everybody comes to eat. It's the greatest thing. I'm trying to keep my days very efficient, and I keep my set really tight. Every single corner is active, and everybody gets to thrive in the job that they do. I don't waste people's time. For me, running a set and directing has been the most rewarding thing of my life and a happy surprise, because it was never really on my radar. I want to elevate the mundane. I always tell young people when I'm trying to encourage them, you have certain windows in your life, and you have to take advantage of it. You gotta jump through because they will shut on you. It's spelled like SERG. I always thought it would be funny if I called my son sir, like calling your daughter ma'am, or something like that. It's a hilarious part of my past, all the sitcoms I did in the 80s. And then all the animation is amazing. It's really been great. I'm somebody who, if I went to the grocery store, and one of them wasn't with me, I would feel guilty. I would be like, I shouldn't be doing anything without them anytime, ever. A very codependent way of thinking. Also, motherhood is hugely about guilt. I don't usually say working mom because I think all moms are working moms. I feel like that diminishes moms. People should say working dad as opposed to working moms. I learned so much from my life as an actor, as a kid actor through being an adult actor, and then becoming a writer and producer and doing animation. I learned so much from the writing on King of the Hill, which I thought was just magnificent. They would let real moments happen in this animated, one-dimensional world. I feel like I've been in school this whole time. When I saw Louie and Girls, I was blown out of the water. They were fearless portrayals of real life. Everyone has a different experience. I've always been interested in how other people live their lives, which is why it's important to engage fully even in painful times. And out of that, I get to laugh. I've always been kind of a mom. I was out of my house when I was 18, and my friends used to call me Mother and Care Unit. I love that. Mommy shaming. When I was a new mom, I was obsessed with how I was being perceived and trying to fit in as a mom, going to mommy and me classes and things like that, and never quite measuring up to the real moms, the robot moms, as I called them. I think over the years, the way my daughter's friends have embraced me has definitely made my daughters appreciate me more. Of course they take me for granted because I'm the one who's there. But listen, I don't want to be the cool mom who lets things get out of control. That's not my lookout. I want to be a strong, safe mom who my kids also want to be around. I never want to waste a frame. I always look and see what I've got. Sometimes when I'm in the editing room and there's a new person there, like a music editor or a post person that I don't really know, I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be in here. This is too personal, you can't watch this. But then I'm like, hey dummy, you're about to show this to the whole world. I took my daughters to see Plastic Ono Band at the Orpheum in LA in 2012. It was an amazing experience because she is such a revolutionary artist. Everybody was like, oh, it's Yoko. It's such a joke. But it's no joke what she did, visually and musically. It's incredible. I want to create opportunities for women, of course. I don't like to let people know where I'm going to end up, and I don't personally like to know where I'm going. Literally, FX is like, how can we foster your vision? My vision is pretty much taking pictures of the way I see my life. Being a mother is the ultimate training ground for anything. Wouldn't it be funny if I were a total nightmare? If I just shot 21-hour days and went over budget? But, it's something I'm really careful about because I am a mom and also I'm an actor. I'm a pleaser. I don't want to take up too much of people's time. The only people on this planet that can make me feel like my feelings are heard are my kids. I've been adapting ever since my oldest had her first playdate with a boy, and I was like, that's not normal, because I came from the old school. Now boys sleep over at my house. It doesn't matter which girl, which age.